Let's talk the club. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk the club. Woo!
Well. Good evening, everybody. It's Cutler on the Let's Talk the Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk the Cutler virtual book club here on YouTube. And it is the 11th of May. Yes, it is the 11th of May. How are you all doing? We're going to chat for about 1,800 seconds. And just in case somebody's stopping by and wondering what is this channel about, or just in case you are catching the replay and you're wondering what's that guy going to talk about, what's happening over there. There's a whole lot of stuff out on YouTube already. It's enough here, enough there, enough that, all that. So in case somebody's saying all of that, we're not about all of that here. This channel is about inspiration. It's about motivation. It's about challenging ourselves to show up as our best selves, even in the worst of situations. It's about doing an inventory over the course of the day to see what did I do to show up better today than I did yesterday. How can I place myself in a better position tomorrow than I have been all day today? That's what this channel is about. It's about making sure that I'm spreading and seeking positivity. I'm spreading and seeking motivation. I'm spreading and seeking optimism. And that's why we do what we do every Tuesday and Thursday for these 1,800 seconds. So I invite you to go ahead and subscribe. If you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe. And once you hit the subscription button, make sure that once you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell, because it lets you know whenever I've gone live, like I am now. It lets you know whenever I've uploaded new content, as I so often do. And I would just be delighted for you to join the whole Let's Talk the Cutler broadcast family and jump in the chats and chat from time to time. Even if you don't chat when I'm live, if you chat afterwards or you have comments in the replay, those sorts of things, I'd love for you to just be a part of this platform with me. We've been doing this now, and I say we because I'm not talking about myself in this vague and ambiguous manner, but I'm talking about we as in you and I. We've been doing this now for over 3 years. Can you believe it? We've been meeting in this space and sharing our thoughts and exchanging ideas and just grabbing each other by the hand, virtually as it were, and walking through the weeks and the days and the months and the years and encouraging each other. Try to show up your best self. Isn't it interesting how people don't always encourage you to show up as your best self, but people will sit back and smile and glare and look at you when you're not your best self. And in the moment, sometimes they make you think that you're doing something wonderful and great, but then they look at you through this judgmental eye, like, I knew that was all. I knew that's all it was to him. I knew that's all it was to her. But that's not what we do here. We don't push you forth on the stage and say, go and be your negative and nasty self, but we push you forth saying, no, be your best self, be your brightest self, be your most victorious self, be your most powerful self, be your most awesome self, be your most successful self as often as you can. As often as you can. So that's what we do here. I'll shout out the LTTC VIPs in just a moment, but I just want to start by saying that sometimes people look at you and they don't necessarily want to see you in your best light. But it is my determination to always see myself in my best light. I don't care how people want to see me. It is always my goal to see myself in my best light. It's always my goal to put my best foot forth. Do I always make the mark? Do I cross every T and dot every I? No, sometimes I come short. Sometimes we all do. But it is about the intent of the heart. It is about the resolve of your soul and of your spirit and of your mind that says, it is my desire to at least try to show up my best self whenever I can. So that's why we talk. That's why we talk like this. Okay, Cutler, just get to the point. What are you talking about tonight? I'm talking about how to be okay with being you. But before I do that, I want to say a few things. One, I want to say a special good evening to to all of the ladies who are going to join. And I want to say a happy Mother's Day. I know we're coming up on the Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. And in the sensitivity of that moment, I also want to let those of you who are navigating Mother's Day without your mother know that you're in my thoughts and prayers. And then how about this, you all? I also want to let those of you mothers who are navigating Mother's Day without children that you gave birth to. I want you to know that I am yet thinking of you and sending positive thoughts your way as well. And then one more thing. I did not see her on the last time we chit chatted, but 2 days ago was, and we often see her here. So I hope she was out celebrating, doing something. But 2 days ago, it was the 9th, and it was one of our very faithful Let's Talk to Cutler viewers and followers and friends that we see here practically every time we're here. It was her birthday, so I hope she was out celebrating her birthday Tuesday. Can you all do me a favor and help me say happy birthday to Linda Martin, who was such a big supporter of me personally and of this channel and of this platform and of so many things that I do. I'm sending love and hugs and prayers and thoughts your way. So can you all just do me a favor and say a happy birthday to Linda Martin? I see her. She is in the chat this evening. So it's good to see you. Cousin Linda, happy birthday to you. All right. What else do I want to chat about? No, I think I want to go ahead and get started, but I do want to shout out the LTTC VIPs. And there, Juanita A. It's always so good to see you. I always enjoy your comments, by the way. And then Annie Cutler says, get aboard, let's ride. Sonia Bailey. I'm just so encouraged by whenever I see you all show up. But those are the LTTC VIPs for this evening. Juanita A., Annie Cutler, and Sonia Bailey. So good to see all of you. All right, let's get started with our conversation, and I'll tell you the impetus behind this conversation and why I thought of this. How to be okay with being you. To tell the truth, you all, I was as we say, betwixt and between, sort of torn between two opinions about what I really wanted to chat about tonight, because one of the things someone recently asked me, what is important to you? What's important to you? And I thought, how do I define that? How do I really explain what's important to me? And I'm wondering, I'll toss that question your way, you all, because I want, how would you answer that when people say, what's important to you? I think I might want to come back and talk about that. Maybe I can attach it to the end of our conversation this evening if I don't get a chance to complete my thought, or maybe I pick it up again and let it just be a full conversation in and of itself. But another thing, I wanted to just chit chat tonight about how to be okay with yourself. You know, this thing that's called life is just so very interesting, because people will do a number on you. Life will do a number on you, and it will cause you to chip away at your core and your soul and your heart and your spirit. And you find sometimes that you are your biggest saboteur, the one who sabotages the things that you do. You'll find that you are your worst enemy. You'll find that you're your biggest critic, and that's not always a good thing. You'll find that you are your worst enemy, and that's not always good. And it happens because people and life and circumstances will do a number on your psyche, and you get to the point where you just don't feel like you are enough, or you're just not okay with yourself. And various cultures and subcultures can make us feel bad about ourselves for any number of reasons. You're too this, you're too that, you're too tall, you're too short, you're too big, you're too light, you're too dark, just all of those things. And for as much as we often say to ourselves that stuff doesn't even bother me, the truth of the matter, you all, is that it does. A lot of times that stuff bothers us, and it burrows, it digs itself down in our souls, and it shows up. And it shows up. And I just want to remind us to be okay with ourselves. Be okay with yourself. Be okay with and Cutler, how would you suggest that? One of the things my mother tells me, and I chuckle about this all the time, she laughs at me because she says, you really do know how to entertain yourself. And I do. I do. And I'm just sort of just talking from the hip and just tossing this out there this evening, y'all, as we have this conversation. How this is about how to be okay with yourself. Sometimes we're lonely and we're not okay with ourselves. Sometimes we are depressed and we're not okay with ourselves. Sometimes we're not in a certain financial comfort and we're not okay with ourselves. Sometimes we have not reached certain milestones and we're not okay. Sometimes we haven't met certain goals and we're just not okay for whatever reasons. A lot of times we just find we compare ourselves to people and others, and we just find ourselves not being okay with who we are. But I want us to not just clear or make a blank slate, but I want us to learn how to be okay with ourselves, because a lot of times we cannot be okay with other people because we don't know how to be okay with ourselves. A lot of times we are negative and nasty towards other people, and I'm not necessarily talking about us, but I'm talking about some of the people that we encounter in life who are nasty and negative towards other people because they have not learned to be okay with themselves. My mother tells me, you really know how to entertain yourself. Well, that's a part of me just being okay with myself. It really is. What am I saying? Learn how to be your own friend. Being okay with yourself is learning how to be your own friend, because a lot of times we will set higher expectations for ourselves than we do others. We do. So why not, instead of doing that, why not try to treat yourself the same way that you would treat a close friend, that you would treat somebody else? Don't say anything about yourself, whether it's out loud or to other people or even inside of your head, that you wouldn't say about someone you care about. Don't say anything about yourself that you would not say about somebody you care about. Learn how to be your own friend. Don't say it to yourself. Don't say it to others. Don't say it inside of your head. Just don't. And that's powerful and that's challenging. How do I become my how do I be my own friend? Treat yourself like you treat those who are closest to you. That's a lot, you all. Treat yourself like you treat the people that you care about. I'm talking about how to be okay with yourself. And may I tell you that I've discovered that there are people who are not okay with being themselves, and they may be 30, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and they are still not okay with being themselves. There's something about them that makes them uncomfortable with themselves, because someone has planted a seed of "you're not enough." And we have to come back from time to time and just tackle that mindset and that part of our psyche and rethink, recalibrate, refocus, reprogram ourselves to say, no, I'm good. I'm okay with me. I am enough. And I'm okay with myself. I just need to put that out there. And if you are going to be okay with yourself, learn how to celebrate your strengths. I've said this before. Learn how to celebrate your strengths. Make a list of what they are. Here are the things that I do well. Here are the things that I'm good at. I don't care if it's just playing gin rummy. Here's something that I'm good at. I don't care if it's, playing tic-tac-toe. Whatever it is, just make a list and say, I'm good at that. In fact, I'm just not good. I'm the best. I'm outrageous. I'm amazing. I'm awesome at that. I make great lemonade, whatever it is. Just make a list. Stop and appreciate the things that you are good at. I'm smart. I'm courageous. I'm kind. I'm compassionate. Celebrate your strengths. I'm empathetic. I'm thoughtful. I'm considerate. I'm patient. Celebrate your strength. Make a whole list of the things that you are good at and the great qualities that you have. Just stop and appreciate you. I love the fact that I am concerned about the impact that my words have on people. Just celebrate it. Just stop and celebrate all of those things. I'm good at baking. I'm good at washing cars. I'm good at mowing the lawn. The lawn looks, I mean, it looks like a nice green carpet every time I mow it. You just whatever it is. I'm good at listening to people. I do my best to make people matter when they're in my presence. Celebrate all of your strengths. I'm talking about how to be okay with you. And one of the things I said, you've got to learn how to be your own friend. The next thing I'm saying is that you got to learn how to celebrate your strengths. And don't just shuffle them away and or hide them away and act like you don't have a whole lot of them. No, no, no. You just go through all of them. Just build your maybe we just need to have one evening of just building our resumes. And I'm talking about our personal resumes, our spirit and core and heart resumes. Just build your resume and don't be bashful about saying the things that you're good at. Learn how to celebrate your strengths. I love the fact that when I walk into a room, people smile. So, I mean, whatever it is, and I'm not just saying this about me. I'm just giving you all ideas about you. Learn how to celebrate your strengths. I love the fact that I'm concerned about the people in my life. I love the fact that I'm concerned about people's well-beings. I love the fact that if I find myself in a caregiver position, I do my best to make sure that the people that I'm caring about know that I really love. All of that, you've got to learn how to celebrate your strengths. Because when you learn to celebrate your strengths, you're more likely to have a meaningful, a very fulfilling life. This is how you be okay with being you. Because people will chip at you all the time. And you all know I don't have a vendetta against people who chip at you, but I have a vendetta against that spirit within people that causes them to think that they can chip away at other people. I'm truly a product of my environment when I was growing up, because one of the things that I would hear when I was growing up was, listen, I don't need to hear all of that. I don't need that. Don't bring that stuff my way. And I was looking at something, either it was yesterday or day before, and I just made a note of some of the things that we just no longer need in our lives. We need less complaining, we need less bitterness, we need less gossip, we need less anger, we need less of a whole lot of things. And you have to make sure that you safeguard your space. I'm talking about how to be okay with being yourself. So yes, be your own friend, celebrate your strengths, and then from time to time, just learn how to forgive yourself. If you are not okay with being you, why don't we start right here? Oh my goodness, you all, I think I feel myself going somewhere. If you're not okay with being yourself, then we need to start here. Maybe this evening, if it's not for you, maybe somebody that you know. One of the things we need to do is learn to forgive ourselves. I forgive myself for not being okay with myself. That's deep. That's deep. I forgive myself for not being okay with myself. Because who am I? Who am I to tell me that I am not enough? Who am I to stand in the face of the Creator and say, you did an insufficient? Who am I to stand in the face of the Creator and say, you did an insufficient job with me? I am not enough. Who am I to say that? So we need to learn how to forgive ourselves for suggesting that we are not enough. I may not see that I have all of the tools to navigate life, but I'm enough. And notice the way I characterize that. I may not see that I have all of the tools, because I dare say we do have them. We have them, and or we have access to them. But people in life would do a number on you. I keep saying this, they would do a number on you and your psyche and say that you're not enough and cause you to, that they'll plant that seed of doubt, thinking that you are insufficient and insignificant. But I'm telling you, who am I to stand in the face of the Creator and say you did an insufficient job with me? Who am I to say that? So one, let's just wipe the slate clean. Let's just forgive ourselves for saying that we didn't think that we were enough, and accept the fact that we all have limitations in life. None of us can do everything that we want to. None of us can do everything that we want to, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. So I want us to just learn how to forgive ourselves. I know it's not always easy to forgive ourselves, but that can be transformative. That would transform you into a stronger you, a more victorious you, a more successful you, a more powerful you, a more positive you. It transforms you. When you learn how to forgive yourself, it really is transformative. It's transformative. Because one of the things that we can do is say, I can say to my courage, please forgive me for not acknowledging that you have been with me all my life. I can say to my compassion, please forgive me for being embarrassed about having you. I can say to my humility, please forgive me for pretending that I was not pleased to carry you. All of those things, you all talk to the stronger aspects of you and forgive yourself for not allowing them to show up. Forgive yourself for not acknowledging that they are who you, that they are a real part of you. I hope this is not too theoretical and ethereal for us to really grab tonight, but they're wonderful parts of us that people made us feel bad about having. People make you feel bad about being compassionate. And so then we pretended we weren't compassionate. We pretended that we weren't sensitive. So then I have to fake the funk about who I am and act like I really don't care about people. No. I care about people. So compassion, please forgive me for not allowing you to show up. This might be the kind of conversation where we just have to catch the replay from time to time. We may have to go back and listen to this one. This is how you become okay with being you. So sometimes you just might have to write a note to yourself and write a note to all these aspects of yourself and say, please forgive me. And then after all of who you are says, I forgive you. I'm okay. Learn to just be kind to yourself. Why is it that even in our 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, why is it that we internalize this belief, that we internalize this belief that taking care of yourself is selfish? That is not true. It's called self-preservation. It's not called selfishness. It's called making myself a priority. It is not selfishness. It's called self-love and self-caring. It is not called selfishness. Because the reality is this: being kind to yourself is one of the most responsible things that you can ever do. If you take better care of yourself, you will begin to feel like you matter. You will be okay with being you. If you start taking better care of yourself, if you're kind to yourself. How, Cutler, would you suggest that I am kind to myself? How would you suggest that I take better care of myself? Give yourself time to relax. Sometimes we just run our poor bodies down to the ground and we don't take time to relax, but we just have to do all of that. I'm telling you, we have to do that. I'm talking about now how to be kind to yourself. Just set a specific time aside when you just might need to relax, chill out, and do nothing. Give yourself permission to relax. Give yourself permission to set aside time to just work on cardio, maybe to just go out and walk and exhale and breathe deeply and do all of those things. I have several siblings, but one of my brothers, if you say to him, my mother used to say to us if she saw us with our eyes closed. Now I don't know why my mother would do this, but she would wait until we looked like this, and she would say, "Are you asleep?" Mama, my eyes are closed and I'm not saying a word. I might be asleep. But but she would say that. And my oldest brother's answer would always be, "No, ma'am." Or even now, he does not want to be caught asleep, not sitting up on the sofa anywhere. I suppose when he goes home and goes, reclines for the or retires for the evening, he's fine. But sitting on the sofa, he would never admit that he was asleep. That's just a sidebar. But one of the things that you can do to be kind to yourself is get enough sleep, get enough rest. That's an essential need. Don't sacrifice that. And it's okay for you to get your rest. It's okay for you to get your sleep because it will help you to be physically alert and emotionally alert and mentally alert. It really helps you. I'm talking about how to make sure that we are okay with ourselves, you all. I'm just reminding us, just having a little fireside chat. And can I say something else in terms of making sure that you are okay with yourself? Sometimes you have to make some affirmations. Just these simple, positive statements about ourselves. Just make an affirmation. Think of an affirmation, something positive about you, and maybe just post it in the mirror or post it somewhere in your mind, and make sure that you get it and learn how to say it out loud first thing in the morning and throughout the day from time to time. You may just want to repeat it throughout the day. You're just saying it about you. That's why you'll often hear me say, hey, get some post-its and post things in the mirror. So that way, when you walk in a certain room or post them wherever, whenever you walk into a room, you'll say it, you'll see it, and you'll say it. And I know it. Sometimes it feels a little silly, it feels a little uncomfortable, but when you keep walking in there and you say these things over and over and over, the feeling of silliness and the feeling of awkwardness, those things will pass because those post-its will be a present reminder of your strength, of your tenacity, of your perseverance, of your ability to navigate life. I'm telling you, I challenge us. And I'll go ahead and get out of here, but I really do challenge us, you all, to learn how to make affirmations about ourselves. If we're talking about really how to be okay with being ourselves, learn how to make affirmations about yourself, to yourself, and for yourself. I'm a good cook. I'm a good baker. I'm a good driver. I'm a good car washer. I'm a good lawnmower. I'm a good whatever it is that you're good at. Just learn how to write those things. I'm a good caregiver. I'm a good son. I'm a good daughter. I'm a good mother. I'm a good father. I'm a good aunt. I'm a good uncle. I'm a good sibling. Just write it down. I'm telling you, write it down and post it around your house. Learn how to feel good about yourself. When people make you feel bad about who you are and they chip at your core and your psyche and your heart, and in a world where people have tried to make you feel less than, just start writing these things. I'm a good teacher. I'm a good administrative assistant. I'm a good doctor. I'm a good lawyer. I'm a good manager. I'm a good worker. I'm a good, whatever it is, I'm a good fill in the blank, and just post it around your house. Mother's Day is coming up. And again, sometimes I dare say that people go through so many emotional issues, and as you're going through some of these issues, and maybe you don't hear from all your children, but you still write on your post, I'm a good mother, I'm a good grandmother. Just write, I'm a good sister, I'm good. Just write all that stuff down. I'm a strong person, I'm a caring person, I'm an emotional person. Write all of that stuff down. And I'm going to challenge you all to write this one. I know some of you are going to say, nope, Cutler, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. But here is I challenge everybody who is catching this live and everybody who would catch this replay. I challenge every single person to get a post-it and write somewhere, I love you, and put your name in it. I challenge every single one of us to do that. I'm talking about how to be okay with yourself. I challenge every person who's catching this live broadcast, catching this chat, to just get a post-it or a couple post-its or a couple pieces of paper and just write, I love you, and fill your name in and post it somewhere. So that as you walk around, every time you walk into a room, you remember to love yourself. You remember to care for yourself. You remember to be kind to yourself. You remember to be courteous to yourself, respectful to yourself, compassionate to yourself, patient with yourself. You remember all of those things. How many of you would do that with me? I'm going to do it. Marissa, you're right. Self-affirmation. It is the way to go. You all get a post. I got to get out of here, but I just wanted to, that is the challenge. I don't think I've done a challenge for a long time. I think one time I challenge I did some time ago was making sure you get that glass of water, and you said, this is me. I'm full of this. I'm full of kindness. I'm full of love. I'm full of all of this. But here's the next challenge. Here's a challenge that I want to toss to all of us tonight. Get a piece of paper or post-it or something and write, I love you, and fill your name in and post it somewhere or somewheres around your house. And be good to yourself. Go on and be good to yourself and learn how to be okay with you. I hope this has helped somebody. And listen, if you're a person who really finds that you are okay with yourself, maybe this is something that you can share with somebody else. McDina says, I accept the challenge. Maybe if you're okay with yourself, maybe you can then share this with somebody else, because we might know people who are not necessarily okay with themselves, smiling every single day, looking like everything is okay, and wearing a mask and concealing things that are in their heart that we don't necessarily see. Do you know people are walking around with holes in their souls and holes and wounds in their hearts? Love yourself. Thank you all. McDarney says, I will. I accept the challenge. Linda, I will. Annie Cutler, I will. Juanita, let's just do that. Listen, until the next time we get together, let's keep doing what we do, you all. Let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Keep your heads up. Keep your hopes up. Stay safe. Stay sane. Again, happy Mother's Day to everybody. And I will see you. Paula, Paula D, make sure that you say, let's see, Juanita says, I will do. Paula D says, will do. Hattie Bone says, I will. Paula, make sure that you say a happy Mother's Day to our centennial, Miss Evelyn. All right, take care. And please know this, that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. I'll see you all the next time I see you. Good night, everybody. And I think the next time we'll talk about how to determine what's important to you. And make sure then you tell somebody, come on, let's talk the color. Good night.